Hey, my name is JT, and today I'm going to be giving you some of our Q2 highlighted results for ads for motivated seller leads. So what I'm going to be doing is going through some of our top performers. As you may know, we manage clients who are wholesalers, flippers, buy and holders, creative finance guys all across the US, up into Canada. We've managed over into the UK. We typically keep somewhere between 40 to 60 management clients. We then also build people's ads, and we have those built all over the world as well. We build multiple of those a month. And then on top of that, we also teach and have students located all across the world as well. So we have quite a bit of data that we're able to pull and look at and compile together to give us some of our highlighted results for finding motivated seller leads. What's really working, some things to look at, some things to consider, some things and trends to look forward to in the future going into Q3, and what you can do to increase your performance on your Facebook and Instagram social media advertising. So this is all going to be for paid advertising on Facebook and Instagram. So we'll go ahead and we will jump on in. So as you can see here, we've got our trending metrics. The place I want to start is with our media. This is probably somewhere where I've seen kind of the biggest change or kind of like future of change that you can kind of predict. So I screenshotted a couple of ads that we've seen working now. As you can tell, the two on the left are our typical CTA, call to action style graphic image ads that have been working well for the last about year now. They've been trending for a little bit over a year and really been our top performers. These are some different styled ones that we've tested out, and these are the ones that worked better in Q2. Something about these, if you are looking for ads that are similar, you don't want to build them yourself, so we do give these away for free. There's a link at the bottom of this video that you can just click on, and you can actually download 40 plus ad templates for free. We usually add a new one to it every Friday. So you can go check that out. But I wanted to note a couple differences between these. So one is that we started noticing that these call to actions that have kind of like a box in them for people to almost like they were entering info into the picture have been grabbing a lot more attention, and they've also been increasing our conversion rates. We've been seeing really high conversion rates. We have clients all the way up into 20 to 26% conversion rates on Facebook, which is really unheard of. With that, though, we have noticed a couple other things. So we'll be talking about that a little bit more in depth. But the CTA graphic image ads are still working well. The thing I wanted to really talk about, though, about media is we've been seeing video come back. Video kind of dropped off about a year ago. It just really wasn't performing much anymore. So we stopped using it as often. And we've been seeing face-to-face videos as well as still image videos start coming back and rising again in the ranks. So there's an example here of a face-to-face video. Usually these are situational based videos. So these are going to be talking about situations in which you've helped somebody in the past, trying to outline that situation, what result you're able to give them. And then that way that gives the person on the other end some context, some social proof for trusting you, makes them relate with you a little bit better and feel like you have a solution that you can offer because you've offered it to someone else already and helped them receive what you were promising. So that's kind of like one of these videos down here. The one on the far right, this one is more of a still image ad. So this one basically is kind of a movement ad. It's got a couple images in it. We've seen these as slideshows. We've seen these just as kind of like ripple effects where you kind of see different parts of the video moving at a time. And we've seen these working really well right now as well. So this would be a really good option to start implementing if you're not ready to hop in front of a camera or you're kind of nervous to do that. This is a really good option to start implementing in Q3 to start testing against your image ads and seeing if this results in higher conversions at a lower cost per lead and a higher conversion rate and higher motivation ultimately. So those are some breakdowns on the media side. On the text side, we found that most text that was generating the most leads was mid-length. There was no emojis, straight to the point, and often started with a question. So we had a lot of them primarily starting with a question about what kind of condition their home is in or what type of offer they're looking for their house without having to pay for fees and repairs, that kind of stuff. We have noticed a new trend with shorter headlines and descriptions. This was probably about 2 or 3 years ago that this trended in our industry. where it switched over where we could add a full headline that would take up the entire headline description. So headlines became trending higher at longer lengths. But now we're starting to see that shorter length headlines with descriptions underneath it are actually trending again. So that might be something you want to throw into your tests. Most of the tests we do these with dynamic creative. So we allow Facebook to kind of choose which one they want to optimize, which I think would be a great thing to do between the media and these headline and description options. It would give you a good idea of what Facebook's going to favor for you. So that's definitely something I would probably throw in there. Targeting. So targeting, I'm ranking this off of performance. So all three of these targeting methods have worked well for us. But I wanted to make sure that you knew which ones were working best. Number one for Q2 was seller interests on Facebook, which is awesome to see. Typically, this one ranks around number two, but this quarter it actually ranked number one. So that's awesome. These are all targeted on Facebook's actual seller interest targeting. So you can go through your interest targeting and pick out anything that would be related to a motivated seller. And that's where we've been getting a lot of our leads coming in. Number two is lookalike data. So data that we've collected, as well as data that's being collected off the websites, off of engagement with the ads, across custom lists, so mailing lists, texting lists, cold calling lists, all that kind of stuff, uploading that and creating lookalikes from it. Generally, this is the one that we see the most deals coming from. In Q2, we saw that it had a good conversion rate, but it was a little bit more expensive, but typically it does have more deals. So it's kind of a trade-off between number one and number two. They really rank really similarly. I would say that, obviously you got to look at your deal and where your acquisitions are coming from and pick that targeting method that's working best for you. But if you're just getting started, these are the top two that I would use. The third would be broad. This is something, I've seen this trend going really hard lately. So it's kind of interesting to talk about this. We see a lot of marketing, gurus come out and say that you have to do broad, that you have to put 90% of your budget towards it, and that's what's going to work best for the account. And I'll agree, it's going to generate probably a lot of leads, but typically those leads aren't very workable, and it has to be through a lead generation form. All of these ads that we've done have all been through websites. So they're all conversion ads, converting on the actual website, because we find that those have the most motivation. And broad has been performing at the least amount of these top performers for targeting. So that's something to note. So be careful if you are putting 90% of your budget towards broad. Make sure that you're getting the deals from it and you're not just getting numbers. Because if you're just getting leads, if you're never talking to anybody, then it's not really going to turn into anything. So be sure to check that out and just make sure that your targeting is really set and working and driving actual acquisitions rather than just anyone and everyone that potentially has some sort of whim or is clicking on the ad. So just make sure that we're looking at that. So those are the targeting options that I've seen. Something to note with our trending metrics as well, I've noticed that we've actually seen our cost per click rising. And that in turn has proven, though, that we've actually seen our conversion rate rising, which has helped us actually convert more deals as well. So it's something to note is that I've been less scared lately with these targeting metrics to target the more expensive cost per click. And the reason for that is just because I've seen relatively to the cost per click that the conversion rate has been rising. So we've had clients go all the way up to 20-25% conversion rate on Facebook, which is really, really high. I mean, most people are probably sitting between 3 to 5% on Facebook. So to get up to a 20 to 25%, and we're looking at that compared to the people who are at 3 to 5%. And it's, even though we're paying more cost per click, we're actually paying less cost per lead with the higher conversion rate, because the majority of people clicking are actually people who are really motivated, and that's helping us get a lower cost per acquisition on a deal. So I would definitely look at that and compare that in your stats if you're doing something like broad, because you probably have a really low cost per click, which is awesome. But you probably have a really low conversion rate too, probably somewhere between 3 to 5%, which for most Facebook's marketing world is going to be good. But it's been interesting to kind of go against the grain and try something a little bit different that's paid off in allowing our cost per click to go higher by niching a little bit farther down, knowing that we're limiting our audience a little bit, which is going to raise our cost per click. but ultimately it's lowered our cost per acquisition and our cost per lead because our conversion rate has risen by so much. So don't be scared to limit those audiences. Use copy that's going to cipher people out. Use media that's going to cipher people out that wouldn't be interested, because if they're not interested, then we don't really want to be talking to them and wasting our time anyways. But there's a little bit of information on what's been trending in Q2. If you guys have any questions, feel free to comment on this video. Be sure to like and subscribe to this video if you want more information like this. We are coming out with new trainings all the time. And remember, below, we have a couple options. We've got the option to download 40 plus free ad templates that you can use at any time for yourself. You can customize them, do whatever you'd like. Second, we have access to our REI Leads Mastery class, where we teach you exactly what we're doing. It's the same training that I give to my account managers. Actually, I don't even create a new training modules or anything. I just give you exactly what I give my account managers. So they learn the exact same thing that you'd be learning that would be used managing inside your account. And then as well, we do have our quick start builds where we'll build all of your ads for you, hand it over, or our management where we can manage this 100% full-time for you, so you don't have to worry about it. So go ahead, check out the links below. If you want to schedule a call with me to dive into it deeper, I would love to hop on the phone with you. And if not, then we'll go ahead and see you in the next video. All right, see you guys.